Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
You think you know how the world works?
So today we're going to talk about the newest installment to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that of course is Doctor Strange, featuring a great cast including Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, and Rachel McAdams. This is a movie that I was very surprised about when I first heard that they were going to be including Doctor Strange, because like some other characters that have joined the Marvel Cinematic Universe in films such as Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, this is a character that I've always known about, being a big Marvel comic book reader, but never actually read Doctor Strange comics at all. But I knew that he was a very integral part, and even though I wasn't excited for the film on its own, what I was very excited for was the fact that Marvel was finally going to be introducing the element of magic and various dimensions and spirit worlds, so that was one of the few things that was lacking in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So to break away from the science fiction element and really go to the side of sorcery, spell casting, and magic was a true fantasy epic for me. And it's also a very interesting story too, because Dr. Stephen Strange is a brilliant neurosurgeon who goes through this terrible accident where his hands, unfortunately, don't work because of severe nerve damage, and in order to finally regain himself and become complete once again, he ends up going to Nepal to discover the Ancient One to truly unleash the potential that he has deep inside, and through all of this supernatural power, he is not only going to remove the ego and the arrogance that is his personality, but really turn him into a humble and modest hero. So, in the end, I did actually enjoy this movie. I thought that it was a lot of fun. I was very appreciative of the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch played Dr. Stephen Strange perfectly. Wasn't too fond of Rachel McAdams, even though she does have some great moments. She's just not very prominent in the movie. I'm a big fan of Chiwetel Ejiofor, and he did a very good job as Mordo. Of course, you also have Mads Mikkelsen, who I knew from Quantum of Solace, which is the James Bond film, playing the enemy, and he also was very exciting to watch. And of course you had the great Tilda Swinton, who kicked so much ass as the Ancient One. She, for me, was the highlight of the film, unless you also want to count Wong, who is everybody's favorite character. He and Groot are the two fan favorites now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It had a beautiful backdrop. The special effects turned it into a visual masterpiece. It was like a crazy kaleidoscope with so many images and colors, and the fact that I didn't even have to think that I was tripping out on acid, because I just knew that this was something that I was going to embrace and welcome, because this is that realm of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The ability to bend and shape reality was just absolutely wonderful. It's also got some great action scenes, it's got great comedy, and everybody plays their parts rather well. The only thing that I would say that is a downer for the film is a couple of things, two in particular. One, of course, apparently Marvel is having a problem where they just don't know how to make the villain strong enough. They really build up and give the hero of the film some extra dimensions, as well as a supporting hero cast around him or her, but when it comes to the villain, they just don't give that character the depth. And because of the fact that they don't, it doesn't really add to the character, and the character who's supposed to be this terrible evildoer is just not that kind of person, and just seems like kind of a pushover. Besides Loki and the Red Skull, and maybe even Abomination to a certain extent, all of these Marvel villains really have not shown their true evil, and I really think that that is something that Marvel Studios needs to work on. And another thing that I didn't like was a very similar beef that I had with Civil War, and that was the fact that they just kept trying to make things funny. They had a very dramatic moment, a very intense moment, here's a joke, more intensity, more drama, more real emotional moments, funny joke. I don't understand why they have to keep it so lighthearted. I mean, I have nothing against the comedy because there were some moments in the film that really did make me laugh, but just the way and the place that these jokes were placed was just not the right thing for me, and I really feel that it took away from certain really intense moments of the film. But this movie is definitely worth seeing on the big screen for the visual spectacle alone. It is a very important part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially if you stick around and watch the post-credit scenes, because there are two, one right in the middle of the credits and one at the end. If you still are that person that gets up and leaves Marvel movies right when the credits roll, then you really have to understand that you're just making a big mistake. So yeah, go see Doctor Strange. It's not perfect, but it was definitely a fun film, and I'm going to give it 3 out of 4. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Put your comments in the box below, and let's have a conversation on Doctor Strange. And I will see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.